There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize that waiting will not save them, hesitation will not change anything, and fear will not disappear by itself, the moment where you understand that growth begins not when everything is perfect, but when you decide to move forward even though everything is uncertain, and right now as you read this, you are entering that moment. The moment where your old excuses no longer sound convincing, the moment where your past comfort no longer feels comfortable, because deep inside you there is a voice whispering that you were made for more, that there is something greater waiting for you, something beyond the routine days, beyond the same thoughts, beyond the same limits, and that voice has been calling you every time you felt restless, every time you wondered why you are still stuck, every time you looked at your life and felt like something is missing. And the truth is, the reason you feel that way is because you are outgrowing what you have accepted for too long. You are not lost, you are leveling up, and leveling up is painful because it requires letting go of familiar things, familiar habits, familiar people, and familiar comfort, but you must trust that the unfamiliar future holds more than the familiar past ever could. And life does not give breakthroughs to people who wait, life gives breakthroughs to people who decide to wake up earlier, decide to be disciplined, decide to focus, decide that excuses are not an option anymore, and sometimes the most powerful transformation begins with one small decision, the decision to not give up today, the decision to try again, the decision to believe in yourself even when you feel broken, because progress is slow, yes, but slow progress is still progress, and every day you push forward when it's difficult builds a hidden power in you, a power that no one can take away, a power that will carry you through storms, through setbacks, through failures, and through doubt, because doubt is always the loudest before breakthrough. Fear is always the strongest before change, pressure is always the heaviest before elevation, and even though this journey feels lonely, you must understand that loneliness is not a sign you are failing, loneliness is a sign you are becoming different, different from who you used to be, different from people who chose comfort, different from those who talk big dreams and take no action, and while no one sees your struggle now, one day everyone will see your success, because success is not loud in the beginning, success is silent, success is built in quiet mornings, in long nights, in sacrifices no one claps for, and success belongs to the person who shows up again and again even when no one is watching, and you have to stop thinking short term, stop thinking in weeks and start thinking in years, build habits, build discipline, build consistency, because discipline will do more for you than motivation ever can. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what will keep you going when motivation disappears, and trust me, motivation disappears often. You won't feel fired up every day, you won't feel confident every morning. Some days you will wake up tired, confused, and uninspired, but those days matter the most because showing up on the hard days is what separates dreamers from doers, believers from achievers, and ordinary from extraordinary. And I want you to remember this always: you are not failing just because things are slow, you are not weak just because you feel tired, you are not behind just because others look ahead. Your story is unique, your timing is unique, and everything you go through serves a purpose. Every delay teaches patience, every rejection teaches redirection, every failure teaches wisdom, every heartbreak teaches strength, and right now you are learning, you are growing, you are transforming, and transformation is messy, transformation is uncomfortable, transformation demands change, and change means leaving things behind, old habits, old doubts, old fears. But nothing good ever grows from staying the same, nothing big ever comes from playing small, and you were not created to play small, you were created to expand, to evolve, to build, to experience, to create value in your life and the lives of others, and the world needs you, yes you. Not a perfect version of you, not a confident version of you. Just a willing version of you, a version that says, I'm ready to try, a version that says, I will not quit, a version that says, no matter how long it takes, I will keep going, and I promise you, if you stay focused long enough, consistent long enough, patient long enough, your future will reward you in ways your past could never imagine. One day you will wake up and realize that everything changed, not in one big moment, but in thousands of small decisions stacked over time, decisions that seemed small but changed everything, decisions to start when you didn't feel ready, decisions to continue when you didn't feel strong, decisions to believe when you had no visible proof, and that is what a fighter is, that is what a believer is, that is what a successful person is, someone who refused to surrender. And right now, as you breathe, as you read, as these words echo in your mind, you know that somewhere inside you, there is still fire, there is still hunger, there is still energy, there is still hope, and even if life tried to dim that light, even if people tried to break that spirit, even if circumstances tried to weaken that belief, you are still here, you are still breathing, you are still fighting, and as long as you are here, your story is not finished, your future is not decided, and your best chapters are still waiting to be written. You are stronger today than you have ever been, not because life has been easy, not because everything worked out the way you thought it would, but because you kept moving even when everything tried to stop you, and sometimes you forget how far you've already come, you forget the battles you survived, the nights you cried quietly and still showed up in the morning, the times when your heart was breaking but you kept your mind focused, the seasons where you lost people, lost opportunities, lost sleep, but never lost the will to try again. And you need to remind yourself that survival is strength, healing is strength, patience is strength, and discipline is strength, and if you want to transform your life, you must understand this truth. Nothing changes if you don't change, and change requires discomfort, change requires sacrifice, change requires letting go of what you already know so you can grow into what you are meant to be. And not everyone will understand your journey, some people will call you crazy for dreaming big, some people will laugh at your small beginnings, some people will doubt your every step, but those people don't know what you know, they haven't seen what you've seen, they don't feel the fire inside your soul, because something inside you is telling you that ordinary is not enough, repeating the same day over and over is not enough, living just to get by is not enough, you were meant for something meaningful. Something that stretches you, something that wakes you up in the morning with purpose, and I want you to stop waiting for permission, stop waiting for motivation, stop waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is created by effort, not by luck, and nobody is coming to magically save you, nobody is coming to force you to grow. This is your responsibility, your journey, your decision. And if you want to change your life, start now, start small if you have to, but start, because clarity comes from action, confidence comes from progress, strength comes from repetition, and your future self is watching you right now, hoping that you don't quit, hoping that you don't give up just because it's hard, hoping that you stay in the process long enough to see the results you've always dreamed of, and yes, you will get tired, yes. You will make mistakes, yes, you will feel discouraged, but feeling discouraged is not the same as being defeated, temporary pain is not permanent failure, and every time you push through resistance, you build power, every time you choose discipline over distraction, you build character, every time you show up when it's hard, you build a story that will inspire others one day, and this chapter of your life is not about being perfect. This chapter is about No matter how slow progress feels, and you must protect your mind, protect your energy, protect your vision, because your thoughts create your reality, and if you feed your mind with doubt, you will live a life full of doubt, but if you feed your mind with belief, you will build a life full of possibility. So speak life into your goals, speak positivity into your future, speak faith into your next level, and watch how everything slowly shifts, everything slowly aligns, everything slowly grows into what you always knew was possible, because you are not done, you are not finished, your best days are ahead, your breakthrough is coming, and chapter 2 of your life is about rising, building, trusting, and moving forward with strength no matter what stands in your way. There is something incredibly powerful about a person who keeps going even when everything in life tries to convince them to stop, and right now you might be tired, exhausted, confused, or frustrated because progress feels slow, results feel invisible, and the future feels uncertain, but understand this clearly: the journey you are on is not supposed to be easy, transformation is not supposed to be comfortable, and greatness is not supposed to look obvious in the beginning. Every successful person you admire today was once invisible, once ignored, once doubted, once underestimated, and the difference between those who make it and those who don't is not talent, not luck, not connections, but consistency, the willingness to keep showing up when no one claps for you, when no one believes in you, when no one sees your effort, because life rewards those who keep moving forward without applause. And you need to stop thinking that struggle is a sign you are losing. Struggle is a sign you are growing, pressure is a sign something meaningful is being built, and every challenge you face right now is carving a stronger version of you, one that is more patient, more disciplined, more grateful, and more resilient. And maybe you think you're far from success, but listen, distance does not matter if you keep walking, progress does not stop if you refuse to quit, and dreams do not die unless you let them. So don't let fear talk louder than your purpose, don't let doubt control the direction of your life, because doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will, and failure is not the end anyway. Failure is a teacher, a coach, a guide. Failure shows you what needs to change, what needs to improve, and what needs more effort, and the people who succeed are the people who learn from failure rather than run from it. And I want you to start trusting your journey even when you don't understand it. Trust that every closed door is protecting you from something not meant for you. Trust that every delay is preparing you for something bigger. Trust that every difficulty is strengthening you for your next level, and stop comparing yourself with others. Comparison steals joy, steals focus, steals peace, and steals progress. And you do not know someone else's struggle, someone else's timing, someone else's journey, so stay in your lane, water your own grass, build your own habits, take your own small steps. Because small steps every day create big change over time, and most people quit because they underestimate how long it takes to transform. But greatness is slow, mastery is slow, growth is slow. And that is okay, because slow progress is still progress, and if you keep stacking good days on top of good days, 1 year from now you won't even recognize yourself. And I need you to protect your energy from negativity, because negative thoughts will destroy motivation faster than any obstacle. So feed your mind with belief, feed your mind with positive words, feed your mind with gratitude. Because gratitude changes how you see everything. Gratitude turns pressure into opportunity, turns problems into lessons, turns fear into guidance, and if you start your day with gratitude, your entire internal world shifts, and once your internal world shifts, your external world follows. And remember this always: no matter how alone you feel, you are not alone. The universe is working. Timing is aligning. Blessings are building, and your future self is waiting on the other side of your discipline, begging you not to give up. So breathe, calm your mind, and keep moving even if it's slow, because you are not done yet. You are only in chapter 3, and the most powerful chapters are still coming, the chapters where you surprise yourself, where you overcome what once broke you, where you achieve what once scared you, and where you become the person you always hoped to be, and you will look back one day and say, I'm glad I didn't give up when it was hard, I'm glad I kept going when no one believed in me, because that is what winners do. They continue, they persist, they rise again and again until success is no longer a dream but a reality they earn through patience, focus, and unshakable determination. There will come a moment in your life when everything feels heavier than it should be, when the road ahead seems longer than anyone ever warned you about, when dreams feel further away than the day you first imagined them, and in that moment the universe will whisper something that most people never learn to hear. Keep going, because this is not where your story ends, this is only where your strength begins. This is the chapter where your evolution becomes undeniable, and even though you may not feel like a warrior every morning, you are becoming one by simply choosing not to quit. The truth is, every great transformation looks like chaos when you are in the middle of it, every breakthrough looks like breakdown before it happens, every destiny begins in a season of doubt, and there are forces beyond your understanding that align every disappointment, every delay, every rejection, every heartbreak, every financial struggle, every lonely night, every unanswered prayer for a reason. You will someday look back on and say, if that didn't happen, I would not be who I am today. Think about how many times in your life you believed you were finished, yet somehow you got back up and tried again. You survived heartbreaks that you thought would destroy you. You survived nights when your mind was loud and your heart was tired. You survived moments when silence felt like punishment and hope felt like a foreign language. But here you are, still breathing, still dreaming, still carrying visions inside you that refuse to die. And that means there is something inside you, stronger than the pain that challenged you, something greater than the doubt that whispered to you, something deeper than the fear that tried to stop you. And if you truly understood how much potential you carry, you would stop second-guessing every step and start embracing every challenge like a teacher preparing you for your crown. It doesn't matter if no one believes in you right now, it doesn't matter if people dreaming bigger than your circumstances, because every revolutionary looked unreasonable until the results arrived, every visionary sounded impossible until people saw the manifestation. Every overnight success was 1,000 uncelebrated nights of work, and you must accept that praise will come later, validation will come later, support will come later, but the effort must come now, the discipline must come now, the patience must come now, the faith must come now, because success is not built in the moments the world sees, success is built in the hours no one sees. The days you kept silent and worked, the mornings you forced yourself to rise before your motivation, the evenings when exhaustion asked you to quit but your future begged you to continue, and if you follow your calling long enough, everything around you will eventually shift to match the frequency of the life you are building. Remember this, people will question your moves because they cannot see your vision, they will doubt your journey because they don't understand your purpose. But you are not here to convince them, you are here to become something they never expected. You are here to rewrite patterns that existed in your family for generations. You are here to break cycles that were handed to you without permission. You are here to create a life shaping you. Every delay was divine timing, every closed door was protection, every detour was direction, and every painful lesson was preparing you for breakthroughs you could not see yet. Life is not asking you to be fearless, life is asking you to be courageous in spite of fear, to walk even when your legs are shaking, to speak even when your voice trembles, to believe even when logic laughs at you, to plant seeds even when you cannot see rain, to keep moving forward even when you feel stuck, because movement creates clarity, action creates confidence, and persistence creates miracles. And when you start understanding that your purpose is bigger than your struggles, your blessings are bigger than your setbacks, and your future is bigger than your past, that is when you become unstoppable, unshakable, and unbreakable. So take this chapter personally. You are not done, you are not late, you are not lost, you are simply in the middle of becoming everything you were designed to be, and the world has no idea what is coming, but soon it will. There comes a point in every journey when you must decide whether you will keep waiting for life to change, or become the force that changes it, because time will not slow down for your fear, success will not pause for your hesitation, and destiny will not wait for your permission. In this chapter you must understand that nothing truly great was ever built on comfort, nothing legendary was ever created by someone who played small, and nothing extraordinary ever came from a person who waited for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment does not exist. The only real moment is now, the moment where you choose to rise above excuses, laziness, past mistakes, and the weight of all the times you were disappointed, and you must accept that growth feels like pain, discipline feels like sacrifice, focus feels like loneliness, but if you endure those feelings long enough they will transform into confidence, power, success, self-respect, and unstoppable belief. Every master was once a beginner who refused to quit. Every warrior was once a scared soul who chose courage. Every success story began with doubt, and you are writing yours right now, with every decision you make, every hour you refuse to waste, every step you take even when you feel tired. And if you truly want to build something that lasts, you must stop negotiating with your potential and start demanding results from yourself even when no one is watching. You need to understand this clearly. Winners are not born, they are built in the dark, in silence, in the hours when everyone else is sleeping, partying, scrolling, wasting time, and they are working, studying, planning, practicing, learning, building, falling, and rising again. And if you are willing to suffer temporarily for a future permanently better, then nothing in this world can stop you. You must realize that most people quit when the process becomes boring, repetitive, mentally exhausting, or uncertain, but the champions become unstoppable exactly in push you to start again, to try again, to believe again, to hope again, and every time you thought you were done, somehow life placed new strength in your heart, new fire in your mind, and new purpose in your soul, and that means you were never meant to be ordinary, you were never meant to settle, you were never meant to just survive, you were born to build a legacy, to overcome fear, to rise beyond limits, and one day inspire others just by the fact that you refuse to give up. Listen carefully. When people doubt you, it is not a sign of your weakness, it is a sign of your difference. When people criticize you, it is not because you are wrong, it is because you are doing something they cannot understand. When people leave you, it is not rejection, it is clearing space for something better, someone more aligned, something more divine, and you must learn to keep walking without seeking external approval, without needing constant support, without begging anyone to believe in you. Because a true champion moves with inner conviction, inner discipline, inner purpose, and inner faith. Your life will begin to change drastically when you stop trying to be understood by everyone, when you stop explaining your vision to small minds, when you stop apologizing for wanting more, when you stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable, and when you decide that your future matters more than other people's opinions. This is the chapter where you break habits that kept you stagnant, Where you let go of patterns that drained your energy, where you release people who slowed you down. And where you finally become serious about your calling. This is the moment where you create routines that support growth, where you speak affirmations that strengthen the mind, where you build systems that move you closer to your goals, because success is not magic, success is structure, success is repetition. Success is consistency on days when motivation feels dead and inspiration feels far away. You must understand that the universe rewards action, not intention. God blesses effort, not excuses. Destiny responds to movement, not dreams alone. So wake up with purpose, breathe with intention, and walk like someone the world cannot ignore. You will have days when you feel unstoppable and days when you feel invisible, but both are part of the journey, both are lessons, both are necessary. The highs teach you gratitude, the lows teach you resilience, and together they shape a person who is wiser, stronger, and unstoppable. Never forget this powerful truth: a small step every day will beat waiting for a big step someday. The person who starts is always ahead of the person who hesitates, and the path to greatness is not complicated, it is simply hard, and that is why so few achieve it. But you are not like them, you are different, you are chosen for something bigger, and you know it in your heart, otherwise you wouldn't be reading this right now. So take this chapter as a personal challenge, a promise to yourself that you will no longer delay your destiny, you will no longer talk yourself out of your own potential, you will no longer sabotage your blessings with doubt, and from this moment forward you will move with a fire that never sleeps, a hunger that never dies, and a vision that never fades, because the world is waiting to see what you become when you finally stop holding back. There will come a time in your journey when everything around you starts to shift, not because the world suddenly became easier, but because you finally decided to stop playing the smaller version of yourself, and this chapter is about that moment, the moment when destiny calls your name in a voice only your soul can hear, whispering that your past does not define you, your mistakes do not limit you, your failures do not disqualify you, and your pain does not mean you are weak, it means you are ready for transformation. Because every hero you admire has walked through fire, every success story has chapters nobody talks about, nights of crying, days of confusion, years of grinding in silence, and moments where they questioned everything, including themselves, yet they kept going anyway, and that anyway is the difference between people who dream and people who live their dreams. In this world you must understand a powerful truth. Your life will not change when things get easier. It will change when you get stronger, when your faith becomes bigger than your fear, when your discipline becomes bigger than your doubt, when your vision becomes louder than the noise around you, because the greatest battles are always fought internally, between who you are and who you are becoming, between your comfort zone and your calling, between your past habits and your future responsibilities. And the moment you truly decide to evolve, everything tries to test that decision: people, circumstances, emotions, setbacks, delays. And this is not punishment, it is preparation, not rejection, but redirection, not failure, but foundation, because destiny never hands greatness to someone who has not been shaped, stretched, humbled, and strengthened by life. You must stop waiting for confidence to arrive before taking action, because confidence is not the cause of action, confidence is the result of action, built through showing up again and again even when you feel unready. You must train why questions you, because certainty is not something you find, certainty is something you create through repetition, through persistence, through surviving every "I don't know if I can do this" moment and discovering that you could. You are capable of far more than you have ever allowed yourself to attempt, and the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is the belief that your life is worth the effort. Let this sink in. Your dreams chose you, your purpose chose you, your vision chose you, not someone else, not someone richer, not someone smarter, not someone more talented, you, and that means you are equipped with everything necessary to bring it into reality, even if it doesn't feel like it right now, even if you are tired, even if you are confused, even if you are scared, because destiny does not ask if you are comfortable. Destiny asks if you are committed. You will lose some people along the way, and that is okay. Not everyone who starts with you is meant to finish with you. Some people are chapters, not entire books, and your growth will offend those who refuse to grow, your ambition will intimidate those who settled, your confidence will trigger those who gave up on themselves, and it is not your job to save them, it is your responsibility to answer your calling. Stop wasting energy trying to explain your vision to those who cannot see it. Stop apologizing for wanting the life you deserve. Stop shrinking your passion because others fear their own potential. This is your time to be bold, to think big, to move with purpose, to protect your energy, to build habits that support success, to create a routine that makes discipline easier than distraction. Wake up earlier, read more, practice presence, speak affirmations, do uncomfortable work, and understand this. Results don't come from motivation, results come from consistency, and consistency is not a feeling, it is a decision you make every single day, especially on the days you don't feel like continuing. Do not fear failure, fear stagnation, fear wasted potential, fear a comfortable life that kills your greatness silently, fear dying with dreams inside you that never became real because you were afraid of looking foolish, afraid of judgment, afraid of trying. Everyone who ever achieved anything significant looked foolish first, failed first, struggled first, doubted first. But they kept pushing until the world had no choice but to pay attention. Life will reward you in public for the work you do in private, and when destiny finally reveals why you went through everything you thought was breaking you, you will thank every closed door, every setback, every tear, every lonely night, because you will realize it was all leading here, to this version of you, stronger, wiser, tougher, more focused, more disciplined, more determined, and more connected to your purpose. So hear this clearly, your calling is louder than your fear, your future is brighter than your past, your potential is bigger than your excuses, and the world has been waiting for the moment when you stop doubting yourself and start becoming yourself. The question is no longer, can you? The question now is, will you? Because destiny is calling, right now, and this time, you must answer. There is a moment in every transformation when you realize that the world is not against you, your past is not against you, your failures are not against you, your mind is the battlefield, and if you win there, you win everywhere, because success doesn't start with money, opportunities, or support, success starts with thoughts, beliefs, patterns, and inner conversations. This chapter is the moment where you refuse to think small. Refuse to speak negativity over yourself, refuse to call yourself unlucky, unsuccessful, or unworthy, because every time you repeat negative stories about your life, you are training your mind to doubt your own power, but every time you affirm that you can rise, that you can win, that you can start again, that you can rebuild, that you can transform, you are rewriting the programming that has held you back for years. And that single shift in mindset can change everything. Most people never reach their true potential not because they don't have talent, not because they don't have opportunities, but because they never mastered their inner voice. They allowed fear to talk them out of greatness, allowed insecurity to talk them out of progress, allowed judgment to talk them out of purpose. And in this chapter you must understand that your inner voice is either your enemy or your weapon, and whichever one it becomes is up to you. When everything feels overwhelming, when circumstances feel heavy, when doubt is loud, that is the exact moment when you must sit with yourself and say, I choose to keep going, even if your heart is tired, even if your mind is confused, even if your body is exhausted, because progress is not built through comfort, progress is built through repeated decisions to show up despite not feeling ready. Champions are not defined by how they feel, champions are defined by what they do regardless of how they feel, and if you want to live a life people admire later, you must live a life people question now, because greatness all. And refusing to give up. There will be days when the world feels cold, when you feel like nothing is working, when progress feels slow, but remember, slow progress is still progress, and one day, slow progress becomes unstoppable momentum. You are building a future version of yourself that will be more confident, more focused, more disciplined, and more powerful than anything you ever imagined. That future exists, but it is waiting for you to become the person who deserves it, the person who can handle it, the person who refuses to quit before receiving it. So take a deep breath right now and say to yourself, I am not done, I am not weak, I am not lost, I am becoming stronger, wiser, and ready for everything I prayed for. Your destiny is not somewhere far away, your destiny is built today, right now, in this moment, with every belief you choose, every action you take, every distraction you avoid, every dream you protect, and every challenge you rise from. You have survived every difficult day you thought would break you, you have overcome things you once prayed to escape, you have healed from situations you never thought you'd move forward from, and that means you are not here by accident, you are here because you were chosen for greatness, prepared by struggle, shaped by sacrifice, supported by unseen forces, and guided by a purpose bigger than fear, bigger than excuses, bigger than failure. Rise, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and rise until nothing can pull you back, rise until doubt becomes silent, rise until the fire inside you becomes bigger than anything outside of you, and remember this forever. The world does not need another person who gives up, the world needs you, becoming everything you were born to be. There is a day, and maybe that day is today, when you look at your life, your dreams, your failures, your fears, your responsibilities, and you finally say to yourself, enough. I am not quitting, not this time. Because the truth is, every great story begins at the breaking point, not when life is easy, not when motivation is high, not when everything feels comfortable, but when you are tired, when you are frustrated, when you are questioning everything, and still you choose to move forward. This chapter is about that decision, the decision that changes everything, the decision that no matter how long it takes, no matter how lonely you feel, no matter how many times you have to start again, you will keep going, you will rise, you will build, you will fight, and you will not back down until you see the future you know you deserve, because hidden deep inside you there is a version of you that is unstoppable, and all it needs is consistency, courage, and determination. Understand this clearly, quitting is always an option, but so is winning, doubting yourself is always an option, but so is believing, wasting time is always an option, but so is building something powerful. And every day you wake up, every hour you breathe, every minute you exist, life is giving you a choice, and your future will depend. Others do not have, you must be willing to do what others will not do. Wake up early, control your thoughts, feed your mind with positivity, work while others complain, focus while others distract themselves, learn while others judge, and practice patience while others rush. Every champion has moments when they want to quit, but the difference is, they don't, and that alone separates the legends from the average. You must break the pattern of stopping when you feel tired and start continuing until you are finished. You must stop telling yourself, tomorrow, when you know, now, is the only real time you have. The future is not something you wait for, the future is something you create through decisions, habits, hours of work, sacrifices, and a mindset that says, I will not give up, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. There will be voices in your head that say you are not good enough, that say you missed your chance, that say other people succeed but not you, and those voices are lies learned from past experiences, pain, and fear, but you must respond with truth. I am capable, I am worthy, I am chosen, I am strong enough, I am still here, and I will keep going. When you finally commit to something with your whole heart, suddenly the universe begins to move in ways you cannot see, opportunities appear, ideas flow, strength increases, and people show up who are aligned with your purpose, because life respects persistence, life respects faith, life respects effort, and every day you do not quit, you are building a lifestyle where quitting becomes impossible. Remember this powerful lesson. Success is not about winning every day. Success is about not quitting on the days you lose. Success is not about always feeling confident. Success is about acting even when you feel insecure. Success is not about never failing. Success is about learning so deeply from your failures that they become tools, weapons, strategies, and lessons for the future. Look at your journey so far. You have survived 100% of the worst moments in your life. You have overcome things that would have destroyed someone else. You have healed wounds time tried to keep open, and you have risen again and again even when you thought you couldn't. That means there is something powerful inside you, something strong, something resilient, something unbreakable. And this chapter demands that you honor that strength by committing to your purpose without hesitation. Don't wait for someone to save you, don't wait for the perfect plan, don't wait for the right day, because the right day is today, the right hour is now, the right moment is the one you are breathing in as you read this. Life is like a door, it will not open unless you push, unless you knock, unless you try, unless you persist, and every push builds strength, every attempt builds belief, every step builds confidence. Every failure builds wisdom. Every day you show up builds your future. So hear this clearly, you are not done, you are not weak, you are not unlucky, you are preparing. And when preparation meets opportunity, that is when people call it luck, but you will know the truth, that it was sacrifice, effort, faith, and years of refusing to quit that got you there. Decide today that no matter how slow progress feels, you will not give up, because slow progress is still progress, and consistency is the superpower of the successful. From this moment forward, write this promise in your mind: I will not quit. I will not stop. I will rise until quitting becomes impossible. That is the moment everything starts to change. There will be moments in life when you sit alone, staring at everything you have been through, wondering how you are still standing, how you are still dreaming, how you are still fighting, and in those moments you must realize a truth that will change you forever. You are much stronger than you think, because every storm that tried to break you actually trained you, every loss that hurt you actually educated you, every delay that frustrated you actually positioned you, and every failure that embarrassed you actually prepared you. This chapter is about discovering the strength you didn't know you had, the kind of strength that only appears when life pushes you to your limit, when you want to quit but something inside keeps saying, not yet, when circumstances tell you, stop, but your heart whispers, keep going, and that voice, that whisper, that inner fire is proof that you carry power far beyond what people see. Life will test you over and over again, not because the universe wants to punish you, but because you cannot unlock your highest potential while living in comfort. You cannot become a warrior without battles, you cannot become wise without lessons, you cannot become strong without struggle, and you cannot become successful without sacrifice. And if you truly pay attention, you will see that everything you went through wasn't meant to destroy you, it was meant to grow you into someone who can handle greatness. Nobody becomes unbreakable by accident, nobody becomes unstoppable without pain, nobody becomes extraordinary without discipline, and the strongest people in the world have stories full of nights when they cried, days when they doubted, moments when they almost gave up, and yet they continued, and that continued effort is what makes them legends. In this life, you will have days when your body is tired but your spirit wants to rise, days when your dreams feel big but your resources feel small, days when your heart wants to believe but your mind wants. 4. Don't forget this: success is not just reaching the goal, success is becoming the kind of person who can maintain it, protect it, grow it, multiply it, and inspire others with it. Money, fame, recognition, these are results, not identity, and the real identity is what you build inside when no one is watching, when you wake up early after a night of doubt, when you work silently while others complain loudly, when you choose discipline over distraction, when you forgive yourself for yesterday, but still demand effort from yourself today, when you show up again and again and again even when nothing seems to change. You must understand something powerful: your strength does not show up in comfort, your strength shows up in resistance, in every situation that tries to pull you down but you rise anyway, in every moment you feel overwhelmed but you breathe and continue, in every obstacle that wants to stop you but you break through it, because real strength is invisible at first, it builds slowly, quietly, silently, and one day you do something you once thought was impossible and you realize, I became stronger when I wasn't paying attention. Look back at every challenge you survived: heartbreak, rejection, betrayal, financial struggle, mental battles, sleepless nights, anxiety, confusion, loneliness. You thought those moments were breaking you, but they were actually training you, giving you endurance, emotional muscle, mental clarity, spiritual toughness, focus, patience, humility, and something far more valuable than comfort: character. And here is the secret: the reason most people never unlock their true power is because they quit before the transformation happens. They stop right before the breakthrough, surrender right before the opportunity arrives, give up right before everything begins to make sense, and you must not be like them. You must stand tall in the storm and tell yourself, I refuse to quit during the hardest chapter, because the hardest chapter is where the greatest version of me is born. You are not here to repeat your past, you are here to rewrite your future, and the strength you discover in this process will carry you through every dream, every goal, every purpose you pursue. So breathe, rise, and move forward with confidence. You have survived every struggle so far, and that means you have a 100% success rate at overcoming your worst days, and there are greater days ahead, greater blessings ahead, greater victories ahead, and greater versions of you ahead, and one day you will look back and realize that the strength you didn't know you had became the reason you won. There always comes a moment in life when everything feels heavy, when the past is still hurting you and the future looks uncertain, when your mind keeps replaying old memories and your heart keeps asking, will things ever get better? And that moment, the one you are living right now, is actually the beginning of your transformation, because life does not change in 1 year, life changes in one decision, one step, one choice, one realization, and this chapter is about that realization, the Day you decide that you will not live controlled by fear, excuses, pain, or people's opinions anymore. The day you finally say, "Enough, I deserve better," is the day everything around you slowly begins to shift. You may think destiny is something written far away in the stars, but destiny begins inside you when you take control of your thoughts, when you speak to yourself with belief instead of doubt, when you decide to focus on growth instead of wounds, because wounds will scream, but growth whispers, and you must learn to hear that whisper. Life will always give you two choices: remain the same or evolve, complain or change, stay comfortable or chase purpose, repeat old patterns or create a new story. And the moment your life changes is not when someone comes to save you, but when you become the person who saves yourself. Understand this: pain tries to keep you stuck in yesterday, but purpose tries to pull you into tomorrow, and whichever voice you listen to will shape your life. If you listen to pain, your life becomes fear, hesitation, and regret, but if you listen to purpose, your life becomes focus, direction, discipline, and progress, even if it starts slowly. Every great comeback begins with a quiet decision in the heart, not a dramatic announcement, not a grand plan, just a simple inner shift like, "I can do this, I will heal, I am not finished," and that is enough to start rewriting everything. You might not see the progress instantly, you might feel alone in. Wake up, this is your sign that you were meant for more than just surviving. You were built for becoming, rising, evolving, and stepping into a life that reflects your strength, not your struggles. Look back, every hard day you survived has prepared you for this change, every tear has washed something away, every disappointment has redirected you, every mistake has taught you, every delay has protected you, and every failure has trained you, and now it is time to use the wisdom you earned. The moment your life changes is not magic, it is commitment, a promise to yourself that no matter how slow it goes, you will not stop, you will not quit, you will not go back to people, places, habits, and thoughts that hurt you. You will move forward even when it is uncomfortable, because growth is uncomfortable, healing is uncomfortable, discipline is uncomfortable, but regret is worse. So stand up today with courage in your mind and fire in your heart, because your life is not ending, your life is beginning again, and the version of you that is coming next will be stronger, clearer, wiser, and more unstoppable than you have ever been.